And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. I do hope your Tuesday is well underway. Elodie and I were just talking about just how great it feels outside. 64, but enjoy that while you can because it won't last long. It'll be much like late yesterday afternoon. The temperature headed to 90 one more time. You know, today is the end of September. It all ends and we move into October and we'll start, well, it'll be good. We'll start feeling those October weather. We certainly hope so. By Friday, things start to change. High of only 84, if I remember correctly. The weekend is off to a good start of looking better and much, much cooler. 80, and that perfect weather, I think, would be, what, around 78, 79 for a high? Wouldn't that be about right?
74.
Oh, you're going 74. Almost like when you go to the Smoky Mountains and places like that when those highs during the daytime are in the 70s, mid-70s. Just perfect, perfect, perfect. That's the way we like it there. We do hope you're doing good. Make sure to get your birthdays, anniversaries into us. We'll do those a little bit during the 7 o'clock hour. We'll get those on. We'd love to hear from you. Let's go to Collinsville now. Get our good message of the day, and we'll come back with headlines that are shaping America here at the Scotty Ray Report.
What is your earliest memory of facing consequence for doing something wrong? I know I did wrong things before this time, but my memory would be in the first grade. We didn't have kindergarten back in that day. First grade was my first experience, though, of being under someone else's care and authority. If I remember right, it was when my teacher, Miss Rose, told me I was talking too much, and she put me up close to her desk. I believe I stayed there the rest of the year. As we continue to look at Genesis 3, we see the first time that Adam faced consequence for something he did. In Genesis 3:17 through 19, it says, "To Adam he said, because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat of it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." This is maybe the most consequential time in the history of man, because for the first time, man had sinned, and because of that sin, he would have to suffer during his time on earth and face death. Also, the rest of humanity beyond that time would inherit a sin nature and continue to face the consequence of Adam's sin. In this account, we come to an understanding of how God is offended by sin and the degree to which God will punish sin. Sin does not come without consequence. This passage not only tells us the history of when sin entered our world, but we also see the effect sin has on our ability to fully enjoy what God has created. Thankfully, God did not leave man to eternally suffer for his sin. Because Jesus died for our sin, we can have forgiveness of our sin and be cleansed of sin and its effects. May we be thankful for the grace that God extends to us so we do not have to pay the eternal price for sin. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we begin this day, it is Tuesday. What a wonderful day. Again, the end of September as we roll into October. This is really cutting in toward the countdown toward Christmas. Before long, we'll have to start doing that. We'll have a lot of activities, candy treats and things that go on during the month of October, and we'll keep you up to date with that. And the candy crawl, if I'm not mistaken, has already been announced. I know it'll be like from 1 until 4, maybe the weekend around the 25th-ish. We'll look that up and get that to you there. As we move into headlines that are shaping America, Trump has summoned about 900 officers to a base in Virginia. Now, we have no idea what he's there to talk about. I guess he could be talking about DEI and uniforms, couldn't he? Others suspect it could be something a little bit more serious. As news develops out of that, we will pass that along to you. But Virginia is where they're all headed to discuss things. Interesting. I know Odie has covered this before. Greg may have covered it before about how people will take, what do you call little lasers? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, a little laser pointer.
Yeah, a little laser pointer pointed at an airplane or something.
Yeah.
You want to give this advice. If you are an illegal alien, do not do that in Portland. They went straight to his house and found out that he wasn't supposed to be here. He's arrested and on his way back home. You really can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
Number one, why do airplanes that way? It was instant karma, to say the least there. I did. Don't you hate it when you find out some things are going political? Why can't it be just what it is? A service to the community. Keep the politics out of it. And I'm going to try to pronounce it correctly. Wikipedia?
Yeah.
They're saying that it has blacklisted some conservatives, such as the Daily Caller, Fox News, the Federalist, the Blaze, and many others. Why would you do that? Just let well enough be. I won't go any further into that. This little fella here, and we'll show it. I listened to his video, and he was really, really trying to make America mad as he was calling for ICE agents to be hurt. I won't play it because it's just not worth his message being said, but that's the look of him. And he said some pretty awful things there of what he wanted to be done to ICE agents across America. These things have to be checked. I would imagine that, well, someone is going to be visiting his front door before long as well. Let's see here. So far, they're saying that Eric dropping out of the New York mayor's race has done absolutely nothing to the numbers. It didn't matter. He was a nothing politician in the race. We are headed for something in there. Trump called it will be the greatest gift to Republicans that they've ever done should this guy be elected to New York as the mayor that is far left and left. And then he went left at another left-hand turn. We'll see. Oh, let's see here. I have Odie, have you ever heard of Trump deranged syndrome?
Oh, yes.
And I assume that it is something.
TDS.
That's what they call it?
TDS. Yeah.
TDS. I did not know what that meant until this morning. And I watched this interview. I won't play it, but I did watch this. This comes from a guy named Jason Cohen. That's Rosie. As you remember, the famous thing of no, only Rosie. She basically goes to her therapist, and her therapist can't understand why she's so upset about Trump either. And her whole point of the interview was, why isn't everybody else as upset about Trump as I am?
Because everybody else is winning.
Sometimes you just have to say, bless it. I don't know anything else as a commentator I could say about that.
And if she was still here, she'd be winning too.
That's right. She's not winning. She's in another nation now. My, oh, my, oh, my. Oh, let me see here. The Giants are dismissing the head of the baseball team. The manager is out of there. You know why? He didn't win nothing. That generally happens. That's the way it ought to be in companies. When they put somebody in charge, if you don't do your job properly, you should go. Baseball teams have a tendency to do that because it shows if you're not doing your job. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
I have to say, and I'm going to show you this because you need to see this. Y'all hear him in the background, don't you? I watched last year, and probably for the last 10 years, I've watched the Super Bowl. And then that thing would come on during the middle that they call the entertainment, halftime Super Bowl. And you often scratch your head and go, what was that about? Like last year. I don't, he might be a nice guy, but I don't know any, was it Usher?
No,
It wasn't Usher. Usher did it one year. It was some guy, and the guy that was up there with him ran across the football field with another nation's flag. I can't even remember who it was, but I didn't understand. I honestly did not understand any of the words that were saying. They have announced a guy that does not like Trump. He does no songs in English. They're all, I guess, Spanish. I've never heard of it. His name is Bad Bunny. You ever heard of Bad Bunny? Apparently overseas, he's been selling out shows left and right. Anybody want to see a picture of Bad Bunny of what's coming to the Super Bowl? And this is a point before I show this picture. They've been kneeling. They seem to really not have the American dream anymore, and I'm talking about everybody affiliated with the NFL. Here we go. This is what's going to perform at halftime.
That don't look like a football type entertainment.
You know, the most I can relate to that was back in the 80s when Boy George come out and Mo and Joe got together and put a song out and they called Where's the Dress? We'll Be Money Making Fools.
Now, is this tackle football or two-hand touch?
It may be two-hand touch. That may be what it is. But how is it that the NFL that has so many people that watch can't just go with a great American theme to celebrate our country during that? Yet they're going to bring in controversy of someone. Where's the dress? We'll leave it at that. That's y'all saw it there. Let's see here. The cartel. Now we've been seeing where the president has authorized several strikes. Venezuela, boats of people that bring in drugs. But what I didn't know is I read a story of a young girl this morning. She was in college, having a tough time making bills match, and on social media, she saw an ad that said, want to make money? So she responded. She waited a few weeks, and she was still broke, and she had a friend who had a car, and all she had to do was go pick up some people and deliver them somewhere, drive somebody somewhere. Well, her and her friend went off and signed to that. They had to go near Brownsville, Texas. They picked up someone to bring them back deeper into Texas. Guess what that was? It was the cartel smuggling people into the U.S. of A. She had no idea what she was doing, and at the end of it, she was handed a large wad of cash to do what she done. Watch what you click on. Anything that says you're going to make money more than you know that it's really worth. There's something illegal going on there. My, oh, my, oh, my. What else is going on? Boeing is developing a new 737 to replace a current one. Huh. That's that single-aisled jet. Just in time for Christmas, guess what's going to happen? The U.S. Postal Service is going to raise the price of stamps, and they're awarding it temporarily during the holidays because they get so busy.
Yeah, I like to see them drop a price.
I usually, if they go up, they never come down. It's kind of like, y'all remember when we had that pandemic thing going on and they rose the price of cars by $10,000 to $15,000 and Americans continued to buy them? Well, the price never came down. It's like the chicken out of the judges.
Yeah.
That's how it all started, was Judge T. I just, until midnight, Sunday, January the 18th is when the prices will remain. My, oh, my, oh, my. Y'all be ready for that. If you got to mail something, it's going to be a 90-cent. Here's the pricing on it. Anything that's 3 pounds will be 90-cent increase. $1.45 for anything between 4 to 10 pounds. $3.25. Get this now. That's a lot, isn't it? For anything that's 11 to 25. And they'll slap $7 anything that's 26 to 70 pounds. Order carefully is what I'm saying. We had a American Airlines flight that was taken off at LAX. They were out on the runway getting ready to fire up the jet engines. Actually, they were fired up. They were getting full throttle when a cargo plane landed on their runway. They had to abort. That could have been nasty. I would say somebody at the air traffic control didn't do their studying as they should. You remember that presidency where they were curving everything? It's not good to curve. Let's go with a doctor, a pilot, a air traffic controller. Whatever kind of jobs do we have that? Because that hospital thing is very serious.
And
never.
every job.
I guess you're right there, Odie.
You want your house to be crooked.
Yeah, you don't want your house to be crooked. You don't want Scotty Ray to build your house. Ask my wife. I can't do it.
Sewage goes downhill.
It does. It is. And every job we have to the garbage man should have somebody that's good at it. Really, that's got a smile, that's glad to be there. And just because of your nationality or whatever it is, a job should never be curbed to fit you if you are not right for that. Just common sense is what it is. Oh boy, we're supposed to make somebody mad. It should have been done a long time ago. There was I guess the only circle that I know of, what are they called? They were talking about putting in Marion that's in front of the what's that proper name?
Roundabout.
Roundabout. There's only one that's ever been famous, and it was Lee Circle. If you'll remember, they came in and took down the thing. Well, no, it's got something else they stuck up there. New Orleans is ridden with crime. I would have to really think of not going to Tennessee to go around New Orleans. The governor has asked for the president to bring in troops to Louisiana, to New Orleans, to handle the crime-ridden city. And it's supposed to make some folks mad. It needs to be done. Crime is out of hand in that city. Again, we're talking right from wrong. We're not talking parties. We're talking you can't steal, you can't cheat, you can't stab and do bad things to people. It needs to be handled. They will be mad. Glad to see this coming. What else here? Florida man. Oh, Florida. Now, let's get into Florida for a moment there. Florida has been doing something that no other state. It's always been joked about. If you really want to mess up, go to Texas. They'll send you to Huntsville and it'll be over. I'm going to give you some comparisons. Florida now leads the United States in executions. Coming up very shortly from now, this is going to be happening. A man killed someone during 1990 of a robbery of a store. He's set to meet his maker tonight. 6 p.m. is when it will happen. He's 64 years old. It will be at the Florida State Prison near Stark. It's been signed by Ron DeSantis, and it's going to be happening. This will mark the 13th that has been sent to, it used to say the chair. It's no longer the chair. I guess it's the gurney. It's what they call it now with this lethal injection that absolutely doesn't hurt anybody. It's a calm way to leave this world, the humane way, as they put it there. That didn't happen to the people of the lives that he took. Now, did it? Nope. Here's what we get into this. Of course, the death penalty was set in effect in 76. And the last year that we had this many people in Florida was 2014, where 8 people were executed that year. We are now at 13 and already have 2 more to be scheduled before the year is out. Now, if I am not mistaken, you know how many's been put to death in Texas this year? 5. I thought Texas was bigger than anything. Make it the show me state.
Yeah. Missouri ain't it no more.
Huntsville is a very large prison, and I'm sure they've got a lot on death row that have done. 1990, y'all, some 35 years ago, this murder took place. Let's see here. Oh, this was just... he was a employee at a Miami-Dade business owned by a husband and wife. He stabbed the man's wife about right here. He would shoot her husband here 5 times. He's had a long and healthy life ever since then, some 35 years later. It all ends tonight, 6 p.m. We'll have you an update on that in the morning. This is would have to be tough for any spouse as we look at this. Charlie Kirk's widow. She is headed back to Utah. Turning Point USA is going there for another speech to the state. That would be tough. We all know that. Boy, you want to talk about cashing in. How would you like to sell your company for $52.5 billion? That's a bunch there, and it's a video game maker. It's going to be sold. That's strong. It looks as though we hear this. We'll wait to see that President Trump and Netanyahu have agreed for a 20-point plan to end the war in Gaza. We'll watch this to see what happens. Hopefully the war will come to an end. Let's be honest about this. This is coming one way or another. It's going to happen. There's no way they will work this out, in my opinion. Now, I just saw a hurricane that was developing headed toward the States. It took a right turn at the last minute. Shocked me. So I guess anything is possible, but it looks as though the government is headed for a shutdown. As you look at what people are asking for in return to vote for it, letting illegal immigrants in the country and sending money to foreign countries for transgender surgeries doesn't look like something that this administration would agree to. There could be some government jobs that come to an end for a while until all is worked out. Don't be jolted when you see this. All daily functions will continue. Sometimes you've got to draw a line in the sand and do what's necessary for the betterment of the country. That's what I see coming. Did you remember us talking, and then we'll get into weather. I'll make this the last headline that we read here. Do you remember North Carolina? I've never heard it worded this way, but I guess this is what it is, a float-by, drive-by. How would you word that on a boat when it does a drive-by? What's a good way to word that, Odie, when you do a drive-by on a boat? A float-by?
A float-by.
A float-by. Believe it or not, it was a Marine that done this. He was given the Purple Heart. He's noted as a lone wolf in this, that did this. I'm shocked by it. He's 40 years old. He made his first appearance in court yesterday, killed several people there. I'm shocked by that. And again, he was awarded the Purple Heart. Says he has PTSD. I'm shocked of that. 3 people were killed and several other wounded. That's awful. There ain't no other way to word it. We've got your weather forecast coming up and a lot more. We're going to start the morning show off at 7. Make sure you're here for that. But we'll do your forecast. How you got to dress? Make sure it's something light because it's going to be warm. We'll be right back.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 1957, and now serving Meridian homeowners.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Record highs and record lows as we still hang around 2019. It was 98 today. Back in 67, that low of 34 on that. As we look for the outlook across Mississippi today, Columbus should see 90, Corinth 87, Meridian hanging right at 90, and you'll see that in Philadelphia and Laurel. Hattiesburg jumps back to that big 90 number. By Lucedale, down there, we're getting to see 89. Brookhaven, you should see 87 as we head over to the river at Natchez. It should be 89 as well. So a warm day all the way across the great state of Mississippi. We don't see 3 degrees difference much anywhere from 87 to 90 all across. As we go to Bama, we'll see 89 there in Demopolis. Birmingham sees 87 in northern Hamilton. We should see about 87. Troy being the coolest because there could be some rain developing in eastern Alabama today. It'll be a little cooler there. As we look across here, it's warm, isn't it? That warm front right on top of Meridian and northward to the north part of the state going into Tennessee as well. As we look at our 7-day outlook, here's what we got. As I mentioned earlier when we started this, it's warm all the way through Thursday. We start seeing a change come in on Friday. It depends upon where you look. Friday's temperature should be 84 to 85. We'll see that all the way through Sunday, a big change there. A slight spike in the temperature as we get a 20% chance of rain on Monday, and then we'll start seeing the temperatures go back to the 80s a week from there. About next Friday, we'll see it about 85, 84 over the weekend. By the 14th of October, we're down to 83. Getting close to Halloween there, aren't we? As we look at our fishing forecast for today, and again, this ends September today. The wind's going to be light north-northeast, somewhere around 5 to 10 this morning if you're fishing. Our friends out at Clarkdale Superette tell us the best time to fish is, well, right now, all the way through 8 o'clock this morning. Right at dark 30, we got another chance, and this afternoon around 2, and we'll call it 2 to 3, you can get some good fishing in. Sunrise happened at just a few moments ago, 6:48. Sunset will happen this afternoon, somewhere around 6:45-ish. Ooh, these days are getting shorter, I tell you. Let's go to radar and take a look at what we've got showing up this morning. As we go to Dodge Toyota, really nothing going on in the state of Mississippi. Doesn't that look good? It's all going to be sunshine. We do have a little bit of fog moving into Huntsville, up by the Rocket there, up to Chattanooga. We have a little bit of showers there starting in Greensboro and those areas there. Charleston has rain for today. Be careful if you're in those areas. All of this being caused by Big Nasty here. This is going to be Imelda, tropical storm moving along at 65 miles an hour, moving north at 7 miles an hour. Those millibars at 983. This is what I said shocked me so much. Look at this. This was headed straight for the Carolinas, and it takes a right-hand turn away from the states. That's good. It'll eventually make it to a Category 1 over here, but we still have this Category 2 Humberto that has 98-mile-an-hour winds, gusts of 121, moving north-northwest at 17 miles an hour. Also, look at this. It takes a turn and goes away from the states. We have been blessed this year on hurricane season so far. Let's hope it remains. Currently 64. It's time to rise and shine. We got coffee stirring in our studio. We'll be back at 7 to tell you all the going-ons of what went on yesterday locally. Join us, won't you? It'll be fun. We'd love to have you a part of it. It kicks off at 7 here at the Scotty Ray Report.